Hi, I'm Zach Capriati. I'm a sophomore. I'm a dual major with marketing and biology. And the art that I do is photography. I'm an amateur photographer. So basically, I've always liked art growing up. I always loved to draw and paint. But I hadn't done that in a long time. And basically, my roommate is very into photography. He always has been. And I always really liked his work. And I thought it was really cool. And he would always talk to me about it. So I basically picked it up from him. And he kind of showed me the ropes and taught me how to get started with photography. And now we do it together. And he still teaches me to this day. Basically, the reason I do photography is just because I think it's a fun hobby. And like I said, I've always loved art. So it's just a way for me to kind of express myself and do the do the art that I like to do and create things. Maybe eventually one day I'd like to do it professionally, but as of right now, it's just a hobby. So I also do photography for the professional fraternity that I'm in, which is called Delta Sigma Pi. I hold the position that's called historian. So basically, I go to all the events and take photos of everybody and take photos of the events and come up with like promotional material that we post on the social media accounts. I don't really try to target a specific audience, but I kind of just create whatever I think is cool, and if other people think it's cool, then that's great. But I more so do it for myself as a hobby and just whatever I think is interesting. So basically, the places you can see my work is I have Instagram for photography. I'm also on the photography website called Flickr, and then I'm also on all the computers around campus. If you see, a lot of the computers around campus have a slideshow that runs on them constantly with pictures of campus and little PSAs and stuff. One of my photos is actually on there. At first, my main influence was probably my roommate because he's the one who got me into it. So some of my work kind of looks like his a little bit. Um, and then two other main influences I have is one of them is his name is Alan Schaller. He's a street photographer, which I really like. I found him on Instagram, and ever since I've just been following him and looking at his work, and I like it a lot. And then the other one is his name is Thomas Heaton. He is a landscape photographer who has a YouTube channel, and so he does a lot of videos about landscape photography, and I just really like his videos and really like his photography. Yeah, so right now I'm still pretty new with photography. I haven't done it for that long. So I still keep my mind open to like a lot of different types. I'll pretty much shoot anything that I think is cool, but my two favorite types right now are landscape photography and street photography, like I mentioned with my influences. So street photography is basically like candid portraits and stuff on the street or using cool compositions with buildings and anything basically in cities. And a lot of it's like black and white. So I really like that a lot. And then I also love landscape photography and just nature photography in general because I've always loved nature and like hiking and just being outdoors. So it's fun to combine those two things that I like to do. So a lot of time I'm way too harsh on myself when it comes to like my photos. I can be a bit of a perfectionist, and every time I look at my pictures, I always can see something wrong with them. When other people look at it and they think, "Oh yeah, that's great." They think it looks awesome, but I see all the little things that I wish I could improve. and it bothers me a lot. Like I said, I'm interested in marketing, so it would be really cool to have some sort of job where I could create content for companies, whether that's photography or maybe even graphic design. But I'd always like to have it, whether it's a hobby or in my job.